Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video and welcome back to another plan with me video set in a very different place than I'm usually sitting at and in quite a different setup as well. I'm not gonna do the typical overview of my iPad, but I'm going to sit here with a beautiful view behind you, but in front of me, and I'm gonna talk through July and talk through all the goals and what I did accomplish and what I did not accomplish. And then we're gonna talk about August and August plans and my writing plans for August, because August is gonna be a little bit unhinged, a little bit all over the place, and I'm still trying to fit in those writing goals that I want to accomplish. And I'm also going to talk about the books that I have been reading in the month of July and what I will be reading in August and finishing up in August. So my July has been kind of hectic, and this has been like the motto or the typical week for me. So I have been working a lot in July and I have been publishing the same amount of videos. So I have been, trying to get ahead of my video YouTube schedule a lot. And I have also been driving a lot. So I'm doing this thing right now actually. It's Sunday today, but next week I am beginning more courses. But right now I'm doing this intensive driver's license course, which means that I'm driving quite a few hours a day to try to get my driver's license. And I have been studying for this since March, April, but now is the last push, final push before I can get my driver's license in the beginning of August. So the end of July, now where I'm at right now, is very hectic and I'm kind of stressed about it. It's going well so far, so everything's well when it comes to that, but it does take a lot of energy from me to think about it or even do it. I need to drive up to 3 to 4 hours a day, learn new things all the time. And coming up now is the last week of July, and when you're seeing this will already be over, so I have already done a lot of things and probably, hopefully, accomplished some of my goals. So let's go into the goals and the to-do list and see what I have accomplished in July, if I have actually accomplished anything. We'll just have to wait and see. My monthly intentions was to work, which I did. I did my last shift a week ago when I'm filming this, and I didn't really think that I would be getting any more shifts at the library where I'm working at for the summer, but I have actually talked with them and I'm gonna get more shifts in August, so that's great. I also had a monthly intention of writing something each day. I have not been writing every day and I'm not mad about it. I'm not, hung up about it because I have been stressed. Right now I am prioritizing getting that driver's license and I don't really care that I haven't been writing every day. Because I'm gonna talk about this a little bit later, I have already accomplished quite a big goal in July with the book. I only have this much left to write in the book. So goals was write to Act 3. I'm gonna talk about this a little bit later. Study for driver's test. I'm doing this every day. I'm doing a mock-up driver's test thing. And then read the books that you have started. Yes, I did finish quite a few books that I had started, or I finished a book that I had started in April this year. And then I finished 2 books that wasn't part of this goal that I just bought and finished in the same month. So let's get to the to-do list and grab my Apple Pencil and I'm gonna check off some things. Write to Act 3 was one of my goals and intentions and to-do list. And I have done this. When I set this goal, I was maybe 5-6 chapters off from hitting the 3rd act. Those few chapters did end up going really well for me. I was writing them really fast. And they were essentially just romantic scenes and murder mystery scenes. And a lot of action was going on. Those scenes are always the most fun for me to write, and they are the scenes that I write the quickest. With that being said, one of those scenes, the romantic spicy scene that I had in the end of Act 2, I ended up rewriting that because the first time I wrote it, it felt off. It felt like the characters wouldn't do this. Are they talking like this? This spicy scene doesn't feel right. So I did end up rewriting it, but then I got through that and I did like the second attempt at it way better. So I did write to Act 3 and I'm looking at it right now and I can say that Act 2 ended at chapter 37 and I am writing, not right now, but I had begun writing chapter 41 on the third act. So I have written 3 whole chapters in the third act and am on the 4th. So I'm on chapter 41 and the book is 51 chapters. So I have 10 more chapters left to write. So I am not mad that I will not be finishing this book in July, which was my original plans when I started this book. I had a crazy idea that I would finish this book in July. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna push myself even when I have my days off, like today. I don't have anything to do except for studying the theory for my driver's license and film this video and stuff. But I'm not gonna push myself to do it because I'm not focused. I can't bring myself to sit down and focus on my story when my brain is thinking about so many other things. This will just have to wait. It's 10 chapters. If I'm very on it, I can finish it in 2 weeks. That will be a goal for August, but I'm gonna talk about that later. And I also had on here, participate in Camp Nano. I can't say that I have done this because, yeah, my Camp Nano goal was to finish Act 2, but I feel like for participating in Camp Nano, I would have done some more effort to maybe write every day, at least 10 words or something every day, and I have not done that and I will not do it. So the July plans have been going well. The things that didn't go well for the writing and participating in Camp Nano and everything, I'm not mad about it. So then for August plan with me. So my monthly intentions for August is to 1, get my driver's license, 2, work, and 3, finish this book. And I'm gonna copy and paste that and fit it at the goals as well. Because I'm gonna be very hyper focused on this for the first 2 weeks of August, I will not really have time for anything else. So this will be it for the first 2 weeks of August. And then I will have off days when I'm not working and when I'm not, when I have already gotten the driver's license, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So then I can start working on finishing the first draft of this book. But currently in the draft, I'm at 69,123 words. So almost at 70k out of 80k. So I'm thinking that this book is going to be maybe 85, 90k, probably 85. So my to-do list for August is to write the 10 last chapters, hit 80 or 85k. Yeah, I'm not gonna set any more writing goals for me in August. I don't think I will accomplish it, but I will work towards that goal and work towards finishing the book. So that's the to-do list for August, and that's the plans that I have for August. And the plans going forward with this project, Gods of Rot and Ruin Book 2, it's not called Gods of Rot and Ruin, but it is the sequel to that book that is going to be published in 2023. The plans for the book is to be finished in hopefully the end of August, and then it's going to be sent to my beta reader, and she is a fellow author and she read Gods of Ruin. She was the first person besides myself that finished the whole book. She liked it and she said that she would like to read the sequel as well. And I'm gonna send her the book in a very early stage, first draft stage. And I know this can be frowned upon. Maybe you think that idea is crazy, that I should edit something beforehand. And yes, I'm probably going to go through the book and edit the big changes that I need to do. But at the same time, there's quite a few things that I'm thinking on changing that I need a second opinion on. So she's gonna be that second opinion, and she has said that it's fine reading a first draft from me. She kind of read a first draft from me last time and she said that it was fine, even though there was a lot of grammatical typos things. And so I'm gonna send it to her. I'm gonna talk to her and see if she wants it in September sometime, October. I will have to talk with her and see what she thinks, but that's the plan going forward with this book. She can have the book however long she wants, because in August my editor at the publishing house, she is going to read the first book, Gods of Ruin, which is going to be published. That is set. The book 2, I don't know, maybe not, but she's going to probably begin her first reread of it in August. So maybe I will get that back in September or October. And so having the second book out there with the beta reader and getting feedback while she's reading it, while I'm editing the first book, is a great timeline thing for me. So there's 2 things going on at the same time. So when I'm finished with the the edit of the first book, I can see the feedback on the second book and start editing that. So that's the plans going forward with this project. But sometimes I get a little bit ahead of myself, so let's bring it back. Let's remind myself that the goal for August is only 15,000 words. Only 15,000 words and finishing the first draft. So that's great. And now let's get to the reading planner. So I actually finished 3 books in July. I finished 1 book in June, and that was My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. So like I said, I finished 3 books, and 2 of those books was part of my book shopping with me in Stockholm video. It is a quick vlog and a book haul all in one, where you get to see a little bit of Stockholm, a very small bit, and then how many books I got. I won't tell you, but I can link the vlog in one of these corners and also in the description below. And 2 of those books are very popular books on TikTok and BookTok, and I have been getting more into BookTok and TikTok and trying to be part of it myself. So one of the books that I got was It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, the very popular, and you know, people said that it was going to be heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, and sad and disturbing, and you know, all of those things above. And I gave the book 4 stars. I didn't see any trigger warnings going into this book, and it made me very mad because this book tackles domestic violence and abusive relationships and toxic relationships, and then like how to kind of fight the attraction for a person and the love for that person. Like, you love the person but they hurt you. And so this book is about Lily and Atlas and Ryle. And Lily and Atlas have been in love before. They fell in love when they were very young, and he was a homeless kid across from her house, and she began taking care of him. And then we are in the present, but we are looking back at Lily's old journals from that time and get to know Atlas through them. And then we have Lily and Ryle, which is present, and their whole like love story and how they fell in love, and then how things turn for the bad. Like, it took a very bad turn, and I was not ready for this book to be about this. And me having gone through like toxic relationship, not in this way, like not in this sense, not in the violence sense, but in the emotional violence, I guess. Having gone through something like that, I would have liked a trigger warning. So here's the trigger warning for you. Just know that going into that book, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Know that it is about domestic violence, it is about abusive relationships, it is about, you know, being hurt by someone you love, and being very frustrated at the book because I wanted to scream and cry and throw up and throw this book across the room. You know, it didn't hurt me emotionally to read this book, but it would have been nice to get a trigger warning. It would have been nice. Like, everyone on BookTok is just raving about this book and have been for years. Maybe, I don't know. And so yeah, and people should really trigger warn things. People should just do it. Anyway, gave the book 4 stars, which is surprising since I have been like hating on this book up until now. But it was very good, and I'm very happy with the ending of the book. And it tackles it in a very realistic way. Having been in a similar situation, not as bad. I won't say that I was ever in the like danger that Lily was in with her partner. I was not that, but I could still relate to some of the aspects of it. So that was well, all great and well, and I gave it 4 stars. And then I read Disfigured by Amanda Leduc, and this is the book that I had begun in April and I finished in July. I didn't rate this book and I won't rate it because it is a non-fiction book and it is very like biographical. It's about Amanda Leduc and her upbringing, or like her childhood, and so I won't rate it because of that. And then it's non-fiction, so I have not read that much non-fiction. I think the book is very important for people who likes fairy tales and have been growing up with Disney and writes fairy tale-esque books myself, and how disfigured people have been portrayed in those stories and fairy tales and movies, and how we can change them to be not as harmful for people with disability and children with disability who is looking at this. And it's just really sad to think about, and I think that everybody should give this one a go, and especially if you're writing or filmmaker or anything like that, creative like mindset. a great read overall, but I won't be reading it with like stars. And then I read The Love Hypothesis, which was also a book that I bought in July and read in July. I gave this book 4 stars. I was really disappointed that it didn't have 2 point of views, because I love romances that have 2 point of views. Like, for example, if it's a male-female relationship, I like having both of those like POVs and both of their character development and internal conflicts, and it just makes the story so much richer. And I was really sad that this didn't have that. It's just from Olive's perspective. This is also very hyped on TikTok, and I don't really know why, because I have read a lot better rom-coms. Like, I have not read many, but I have read better than this. I was irritated with some things, and those things has to do with the fake dating relationship. I love a fake dating trope, don't get me wrong, I love it in a rom-com, but when the friend pushes Olive to do things with Adam, but Olive doesn't take the like chance to do things with Adam, but the friend is pushing her to do some things. And it was weird that Olive never thought about, maybe I should like look more coupley with Adam, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that. She was so against being near Adam that the friend had to push Olive to do things. And that was just not really realistic, because it was Olive's idea from the first place, like being in a fake relationship, or Adam's, I can't really remember which idea it was, but it was their idea, so why didn't they act like they were dating? And why didn't Olive think that there might be a good idea to keep this up, since it was like her thing from the beginning? It was just really weird, and I have heard people talk about this, and I felt the same. Even though that was the case, I still really enjoyed the build-up of their relationship, and then I really liked the 3rd act breakup that happens. Every time I read a romance, I am always anticipating the 3rd act breakup, and it always happens in the 3rd act, and it's often like really short, and sometimes I'm here for it and sometimes I'm not. Anyway, I was here for it for this book because there was a really good reason, and the kind of enemy or the bad thing, like the climactic confrontation in the end, was really satisfactory. So it got 4 stars from me, and I'm actually looking forward reading Love on the Brain, which is her next book. I have heard some things about Ellie Hazelwood and that book already, that she writes the same kind of hero and that she writes the same kind of heroine, and like for The Love Hypothesis and Love on the Brain, that those two are really similar. Like, they are the same characters except for some like quirk changes, and that Ellie Hazelwood likes or loves writing about like bigger men and smaller women being together. So if you are looking maybe to read Love on the Brain, look on some earlier reviews if it's worth it. I will probably read it because I've been on this kind of rom-com hype train for the past couple of months, so I really want to read it. But I am currently reading 1 book, or 2 books actually, and you're standing on one of them, and that's Crescent City House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. This is my first reread of the book. I am almost half of the way through and I'm enjoying it. I'm not loving the time reading, but I am really enjoying it, and I can like feel the comfort of reading Sarah J. Maas's writing. I have loved her books since Throne of Glass, and then like Throne of Glass is my favorite series of hers, and then I have read the ACOTAR series. A Court of Silver Flames was my favorite because I loved Nesta's journey and her mental health rep and like her mental health journey in that one, but I loved Crescent City. And then I'm gonna read the second book, which is House of Sky and Breath, which you are also standing on right now. But then I begun another book, and it's a Penelope Douglas book, and it's Credence. I didn't know what I was expecting when going through this book. It's very taboo. It's age gap, it's taboo, it's multiple love interests. The main character's parents died and she has nowhere else to go, and she was not in a very great relationship with her parents, so there's a complicated feelings there. And then her uncle, not blood-related uncle, but her father's stepbrother, calls and asks her if she wants to go live with him and his 2 sons in the mountains, which is very secluded, and they have kind of this wild lifestyle. They are of course hunting and having their own like motorcycle or bike business. I can't remember what they're called, but they also have kind of wildlife when it comes to women, and she gets up there and is trying this new lifestyle, and it's weird. It's interesting, it's weird, and I don't know what to feel about it. I'm almost halfway through, and this is my first very taboo book. If you have read this book, you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I might have picked the wrong Penelope Douglas book to begin with, because I have been hearing a lot more better things about Punk 57, which is kind of a traditional like romance, not as taboo as Credence. But I have been feeling the fall vibes recently, so I wanted to try it, and you just have to wait and see until September, plan with me, to hear what I thought about the book. So with that said, that was all the things that I was going to talk about in this video. July wrap up, plan with me August, and then reading wrap up and reading plans. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave a like and a comment below and let me know if you have any plans for August. Are you focusing on something different for August, or are you writing? Let me know in the comments, and also subscribe if you haven't. I post a new video every week, every Thursday, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!